Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Last video we discussed how I lost weight and why, and a big factor of that was improving my mental health. So in this video we're going to talk about how I improved my mental health and why I had to change. This video does discuss my experience with mental illness. So if you want to skip this video or whatever, it's totally understandable. And I'll see you in the next one. A big part of my weight gain was due to my hinging, replace the H with a B. And I did this because I had really poor mental health and no coping mechanisms. Like I just didn't know what to do, so I just turned to food. I've always struggled with my mental health since I was a wee lassie. I've always experienced anxiety, really low moods. Oftentimes I was just numb. And I'd only ever experienced like bad emotions like anger or like, being upset or like just feeling really low. But 9 times out of 10 I was moaning about numb. Like I was literally a shell of a person. It was horrible. Like I was literally a zombie. I wasn't even mentally participating in my life. It was fucking grim. Often it would turn into intense rage or self-hatred when I did feel anything. And I was just doing stupid shit because I didn't want to be around. And it was honestly a miserable time. So eventually I reached out to my GP looking for some assistance because I knew it couldn't go on anymore. I just hated myself. I was fed up with the constant panic attacks. It was getting so bad that I was being sick constantly. When I was having panic attacks, like walking to work, I had to like basically turn home. And it wasn't even had anything to do with work, it was just because I was not very well in the head. I could deal with being numb, I could deal with being angry, but the panic attacks were getting worse and worse and becoming more and more frequent. The woman I spoke to originally was lovely. She helped me through it. She was like, "Yeah, we can put you on medication. I just want to refer you to the mental health nurse." Listen, I know the NHS is struggling, but I did have a good chat with the mental health nurse. She gave me some really helpful resources, and then she was like, "Oh, we can refer you on," and then gave me all the resources. She's like, "What would you like to do?" I said, "Can you refer me?" And she was like, "No, no, you should just look at the resources." Obviously, I did look at the resources, but at the time, I didn't want to speak about anything that had happened to me, and I still don't really want to speak about it. I just wanted to. Well, I did want to speak to it, but I didn't want to speak to some random on a fucking helpline. Do you know what I mean? I wanted to actually speak to somebody who would help me and speak me through my problems, not just somebody who to load it all off onto. It's not what I needed. I started my antidepressants and in my propanol, and they helped. They did, but they were making me very sick as well. So it wasn't really improving my anxiety symptoms. Eventually, it ran out. I wasn't phoning the GP again. I had a really bad experience at one point with the GP, and it just put me off for life. Like I hate phoning them or anything. But regardless, anyway, please speak to your professionals. They know what they're talking about. Obviously, I just stopped taking my medication, which you're not supposed to do. So don't do it, guys. Do not do what I do. They do know what's best, and they are there to help you. So use these resources. In my stubborn ass head, I am very stubborn. I think this is why I changed my life around within a year. I was like, I'm not putting anything else into my body. If I can't do it on my own, clearly it's not meant to be. Meant to be, haha. No, it's not meant to, like, if I can't do it, I can't do it, therefore I shouldn't even try. So if I try this and it doesn't work out, then goodbye. Do you know what I mean? I didn't have any symptoms coming off my medication. At least I don't think I did. Can't really remember. It did help with the panic attacks, as I said, and I still have like propanol left over, so I was taking that when I needed it. But I was relying more and more on food, so I had to address the issue. I'd literally eat to the point of being in physical pain because it was the only thing that could console how I was feeling, and it was just the easiness and constant comfort that it was giving me. I would eat to the point I was in physical pain, and then the next day I wouldn't eat anything at work. I would literally drink black tea because I knew it would make me feel sick, and that would put me off eating. And I knew if I drank on an empty stomach, it would make me sick, so I wouldn't eat all day. Guys, don't do this. It's not good for you. This is when I was deep within my big sad. And then I would go home and I'd be so viciously hungry. The cycle would continue. One day, after speaking with a friend about her relationship problems, she didn't know what to do. It was just a really bad situation that she was in, and she was unhappy. She wanted my advice. And I said to her, well, it's your life. You're the only person that can change anything about it. And then I was sitting thinking, maybe I should take my own advice. It is my life. I am the only person with any power to do anything about it. I'm sitting here waiting for somebody to come along and fix my problems when I'm the only person that can sort my issues out. This became my mantra. With that, I wrote down what I wanted to change about my life and how I was going to change my life. And I started it. At first, it was focusing on my journaling, getting everything out of my head, which I was doing anyway, but I was only journaling when I felt negative emotions instead of journaling when good things happened or just appreciating little things in life. So I started doing that. I started journaling all the time, no matter what. At the time, I did watch a lot of romanticising my life, and it was making me feel a bit shit about myself because I was like, this isn't real, and it wasn't real, and it was unrealistic of me to think that if I did this, it would make my life better, because it's not addressing the problems. So I started addressing the problems. I tried to get fresh air every day because I knew it was good for your mental health. So at the time, I would often rely on lifts home. I just tried to walk every day, no matter what. I didn't give myself a choice to not do it. And I think that was probably the best thing I ever done. Like, even when I really didn't want to, I was like, too bad you're doing it. Let's go. The best step I ever took was admitting to me. The best step I ever took was admitting to myself that what happened to me was not my fault. This really helped me move on from the pain I was holding within myself. Honey Bison said in one of her videos, it's not your fault what happened to you, but you are responsible for how you handle your triggers, which is so true. And I really took this on board, and I started really changing how I was dealing with my issues, and it really helped with like my eating, because I was like, you're just not actually dealing with this, you're just eating because you can't cope. And I started working on my health and fitness. Fitness was a huge factor in me getting mentally better, but it was one of the last steps I took. The thought of working out when I was deep in it was literally the last thing I ever wanted to do. Like, I couldn't think of anything worse. And I know if you're sitting in that situation, you actually don't want to do it. Because you don't. Like, half the time you can't embarrass fucking getting up out your bed and brushing your hair. Never mind fucking working out. I did build myself up to it. It wasn't something I just was like, this is what I'm doing, and blah 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 blah. And in January, when I posted the original video, I had started building myself. I had at that point built myself up to the point where I was like, okay, I can start working out now. I had worked on stuff previously before that, before I even decided that I was going to improve my fitness. The endorphins I got from running and lifting heavy weights, and even though I hate lifting weights, the feeling that you get after it, especially when you're running, is so euphoric. I can't even describe it. I began to run when I was feeling overwhelmed, or I couldn't cope with anything, or if I got triggered, I was like, I'm going out for a run. And pushing yourself when you're on a run or when you're lifting weights and you're in pain, it took away from the urge to like eat to the point I was in pain, or to do other thing, to do stupid shit basically. It was a slow progress, but once I discovered how good it actually made me feel and how like long it lasted, like it wasn't just like that night, or it wasn't just instant gratification, it lasted days, and I felt gratified, if that is that even a word, but I felt like you could actually feel it being beneficial for you physically and mentally. Like the burn in your legs and your lungs is just it, it's horrible, but it's a good kind of horrible, if you catch my drift. As I said before, I'm very stubborn, and once I have something in my head that like that's it, I'm doing it. and all I could think about was I'm going to get strong. I have to get strong, physically and mentally. I can't do this anymore. This is what I'm doing. I am strong. And that's what happened. I became strong in every way possible, mentally, physically, emotionally. I can deal with stuff now. Writing stuff down was very beneficial for me. Keeping a track of everything. Hanging out with friends and not drinking all the time was also really good for me. I do struggle to stop drinking when I start, which I'm still trying to address that issue. Hanging out with friends and it not being like, let's get drunk. It was just like, oh, we're hanging out and having a laugh. And I started picking up hobbies that I used to love and just stopped because I couldn't face it. Like reading and working on my creative writing. I've started all that again. Obviously, it's different for everyone, and this is just my experience. I do highly recommend speaking to your professionals. If you need help, ask for it. Like, they're there for a reason. They're there to help you. I'm going to link some resources down below. Feel free to use them. They are there for your help, especially if you're struggling. Please use them. You are in control of your own life, and you're the only one with the power to change it. It is your life after all. I think it's time to change it. Anyways, I hope this has helped you. If you've got any questions, please leave them down below. I feel like it was kind of hard doing this video without like saying stuff I shouldn't, because you know how YouTube's quite strict. So I hope that my politics came across, and I hope that this video doesn't get taken down. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this one. This is just my experience, so it might not be the same for everyone, obviously. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!